What's good, savages? Welcome to another episode of the Savage Land. Welcome to another episode of Soapbox. And today we're going to be celebrating Joe June, which is phenomenal. And that's what Soapbox will be based around today. Pretty much Joe June, of course, the Haslab. Dragonfly is the hot topic for today. And it only made sense. I usually drop these about Monday, Sunday. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just dedicate that strictly to G.I. Joe. And like G.I. Joe June is basically became a holiday, man. Like they really showed up and showed out today. And really the past week. Nothing crazy, but they just been solid and in the pocket, man. And Joe June, like I said, it made me want to drop my top back. Maybe you just want to celebrate like it's a holiday. Hey, hit Myrtle Beach or something. Pull that top back. And like I said, we're going to jump right into it. If you ain't never been to Soapbox before, it's pretty much a part of my channel where I just run my mouth. Usually I give like what I've seen in the community, a hot topic, and talk toy news or clearance. But that whole thing is almost kind of scrapped to be dedicated just to G.I. Joe today. And the first thing we'll go off like as far as basic community wise, what I watched. After I did a recap on the live stream of Thursday of the figures that came out, which was the Arctic Bat, the Televiper with the Trouble Bubble, and also Python Patrol Crimson Guard and Tiger Force Dusty. So I did like a little rundown on that. Nothing too crazy with that, but very solid. Trouble Bubble was the most I was looking at that, and the Arctic Bat was something I both pre-ordered. The other two, like I said, I'll come around to it. But a day after that, they dropped the Crimson Viper. No, yes, Crimson Viper. And then they also did Grunt. They showed a preview image for him. Crimson Viper is cool. I will say this about the Crimson Viper. I thought about it. Most of the time with Cobra, you're thinking of a blue army. Now they're starting to come up with this concept of a total red army. And if you haven't seen my channel or anything like that, I'm a massive army builder. I have 120 Cobra troops alone, not including bosses or major players. And in that army is a huge section of blue shirts, 55 troops, infantry, and officers. And I thought about it the other day, since they're coming out with all this crimson, they have the Crimson Bat, Crimson Guard, of course, and now they have the Crimson Viper. So what now I'm gonna do, I'm gonna build a total red army. Not 100 and something, but at least 50 to match the blues. That'd be an essential part of an army, and then that can help kind of divide the army into who does what. We need to call in the blue army, or do we call in the red army? 10 Crimson Guard, 10 Bat, and 10 Viper. So that's 30 matching up against 55. So that red part will start to grow in the army and stand out just as much as the blue. Grunt looked really good. Very plain. Very in the pocket. Falcon could have been the same way. I just don't know what happened with the head scope. I don't know what happened with his layout, kind of. Even his body looks funny. His body doesn't even look like the rest of the other Joes. But Grunt has the potential to be a very, very cool character, and he's an army builder. They gave him a Steel Brigade head to kind of so you can switch him up and make him more of an army builder. You can just kind of build him out if you want to. So he's an individual character which is morphed into an army builder. And I think if they just stay very in the pocket with it, kind of like how they doing rock and roll, how they kind of doing most of their releases now, just staying in the pocket, not trying to do too much and definitely not trying to do too less. They're just staying right in their lane and they're giving us right what we want. And Grunt looked amazing. So I'm definitely probably pick him up too. Those guys didn't have a pre-order release date yet, but they'll probably be out sometime later on in the year. G.I. Joe has been very speedy on getting things to us. Like I said, I just called rock and roll a potential rock star with not even expecting to have him in my hand 10 months later, and then lo and behold, 2 to 3 months later, he's in hand. I've done a review with him. He's, I wouldn't say in the past because he's here, but he's already a done deal and will be a done deal for a lot of people soon, man. So like I said, man, Joe June, man, has been a total holiday. Now let's get into the next figure that I saw in the community. Is Voliverse put up Condor. Recondence a Condor or something like that, or it's basically like a secret agent undercover Condor. And what you had to do was save up your points, which I saved my boxes just to see what those points would be about one day, but that's not something I'm trying to chase really. And it actually Condors was a good figure, probably still is, but that's something that personally I don't want, but it's a mail away and it's a special offering. I said this in one of my videos about a year ago. G.I. Joe would need to do something with that, and it seems like people who are diehard for Voliverse were cool about that. And I don't know if it was free or not. I have to see. Maybe you had to put a little bit of money with it, or it's just points. But regardless of the fact, it's a cool thing. It's a special offering, and it's a Condor that basically, to me, and I ain't even trying to be funny, yo, it's a knockoff Chuckles. If you want to mix him in with Chuckles, that'll definitely go in fine, perfect. You know, if you want to do that. Me personally, that's not something personally I'm trying to do. I'm really waiting on Chuckles. Like, I was gonna do a video a couple weeks ago. I just got crazy over Chuckles just 2-3 weeks ago. Just whew, got the shimmies over Chuckles. I'm like, damn, I wonder what that Chuckles gonna look like. Damn, boy, if they do him right, he could be a rock star. And I think that's probably what's going to happen with him. They need to do him right, because I think he's coming up with like some type of loadout weapons pack. That's just rumors. I'm not too sure what's going on there. And he's like a Comic-Con or San Diego. I guess it'll either be in the summer or the fall, when he'll be like a special release like Dr. Mindbender or Serpentor. But yes, that Condor, and I'll have it up here, the picture up here of what type of special issue he was. But Condor, aka knockoff Chuckles, Voliverse definitely put him up. All right, so we got through what I've seen in the community, which was, like I said, basically the releases I've seen throughout the weekend that I didn't get to cover last Thursday. Now let's talk about the meat and potatoes. The hot topic for the day is the G.I. Joe Haslab Dragonfly. What shall I say? I just start off, good offering, good price. That's my initial thought. Before I go through all the little rundowns of it, I think it was a good offering. I think it was a good price. I think it was a good thing for somebody like me that I'm pretty much full, fat, and filled with figures, and then G.I. Joe. So something like this, if you come in crazy with it, I'm definitely not gonna mess with it. And that's like if the offering's not good enough, or if the price was like crazy. If they would have said like some 450 type, you know, crazy, or just, you know, just something crazy, which they haven't. They haven't been nowhere close to that. But like I said, you had to pretty screw up pretty bad for me, out of all people, not to want this Haslab. You had to really stink up the joint, and they didn't. They came in smelling fresh and so clean, baby. They really did. And this Dragonfly, I'll go ahead, just a quick rundown of the offering. The base offering is $275. So we're starting out $24 cheaper than the His Tank, which is already awesome. Okay, then it's bigger than the His Tank if you're into size and girth. So it's 34 inches long. I'll have the picture up. I've got the width of it. Looked like it's about 8 inches wide. It's definitely wide enough. Comes with a stand. So when we get to the real estate part of things, it sits up, looks like about 12 inches. So it sits above the figures. Almost kind of like this Sky Striker sits above this 3 3/4 inch ripcord, which we'll definitely get into him later. So that's pretty much what you're dealing with here. You're dealing with something that you can plant figures around it and then still have this beautiful display of a helicopter in front of you. And then it also comes with, this was an extra add-on with the His Tank, the missiles. It already comes with the missiles and interchangeable missiles. It has a Gatling gun, then it has missiles that it shoots. Also with the missiles, just like the Sky Striker, you got blast effects. You got 6-inch blast effects this time. And you also got the rocket propelled effects. Sorry. So you got some for missiles, and you got the blast off effects for the back of the missile. I'm sorry, it's the back of the missile. Of course, it wouldn't have a blast off effect, but the blast off effect of the back of the missile, you get blast effects for that, and you get 6 total. I think just with that alone is just awesome that they add that in. It's not a tier. Okay, so after that you get Wild Bill, which is perfect, right in the pocket. He looks right in the pocket. He had a gray rendering or gray just mock-up, but they did show a digital render of him in his colors, and he looks like he has that flat, kind of like Vietnam green pea soup green like fatigue jumper, like a flight suit with his jacket and vest over it with the cowboy hat, and that's cool. Just like Grunt, nothing too crazy, just like rock and roll, and they stand right in the pocket. When you look at him, you be like, wow, Bill. I can hear his voice now, like, here now, darling. You know what I'm saying? Flying that thing. And so that's your base offering. They need 10,000 backers by July 17th midnight. $275. Something bigger, something a little bit more exquisite, cooler than the His tank, and $24, $25 cheaper. Now, as far as the first offering that you get is this cool ripcord. If you haven't seen my Sky Striker review, take a look at that. I actually got 2 videos on it. They're like a year apart, part 1 and part 2. Why back the G.I. Joe Sky Striker Haslab 1 and 2. But with the first tier, you get this cool like ripcord. I don't know if you can see him or not, but I really dug this figure right here. There you go. But now you get him in 6-inch form. He looks just like this, and he's badass in the 3 3/4 inch version. So at 13,000, you're gonna get this. And not to bullshit, like it's probably gonna reach that in today or tomorrow, the 10,000. And probably the end of the week, it's probably going to have all its tiers unlocked, because right now, well, it's about 12:30 now. I checked it at 11:48. It was already 3,500 back with. So this thing is getting back. People are voting for it, their wallets. I know I want it, and it's not a thing this time. Is do you want it or not? How many do you want? You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's at a decent price. I think it's a good offering. If the His tank was a good offering, this is definitely a great offering. Also, far as what they chose, because I thought it would be, they said tank for tank, which that's cool. That was in the pocket. Okay, let's not get too crazy. Let's not shoot ourselves in the foot. Because to be honest with you, I thought if they did a Dragonfly, I thought they was going to try to charge like 400, 350. Well, I did think 350, because they really don't have to do as much because they own the product. So they are giving us that. And they got good street soldiers. And let me say it like this, like, y'all talk about that girl all she want to, that's cool. But Lenny, he seems like he is the voice of those live streams when they come on. I dig him. You know what I'm saying? I like him. I can sit up and stand and look at him explain stuff. Like the Marvel Legends team, like I don't get too deep in them with them and with those people or try to go against them or anything, but it seems like I forgot the on Marvel Legends this is the 3 guys, but the one of the guys just look like he just not into that shit. You know, like the guy with the beard, the white guy with the beard, he'd be like, I guess he's a marketing guy or whatnot, but or maybe he's design. I don't know. I don't care really. But to make a long story short, Lenny is the shit. Okay, he makes that go around. But going with that, I thought it would have been the Wolverine or Mobat. That seems like something evenly compatible to go against each other right in the pocket. That would have been cool. I did think it would be the Dragonfly just from that earlier rumor 6 months ago, which that is true now. Okay, so cool thing about the Dragonfly is different. It's bigger. And I didn't know now that it's cheaper, which is cool also, but it makes sense to go against a tank. Cobra got a tank, okay, we're gonna hit the air. It's almost like which G.I. Joe bases, excuse me, a lot of its characters off Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a Vietnam approach. In Vietnam, they use a lot of helicopters to drop in, drop out, and take off. And that was their fighting plan, to try to do that. Now they still gotta run for their money, you know, because Viet Cong was popping out of nowhere with, you know, RPG. But rather than having a truck on the ground, and of course you can't maneuver like that with a plane. You can drop in, drop out, somebody shoot RPG, go this way, go that way, flank, you know what I'm saying, to move to the side. It gives you a little bit more better fighting. And that kind of segues into picture shooting. Of course you could do shooting with the airplane, but you would have to do it in a fly-by motion. With this helicopter, it kind of can stay, bank, try to get people off the ground, come back down, kind of do moves back up. You know what I'm saying? Like it can stay. It can stay in a position for poses to make it look more realistic. Okay, it's sitting right now. It's trying to get people out of there, or you know, or it's doing this and that, because it can be stationary basically. It definitely can be stationary, man. And I thought that was a cool approach, and I think they nailed it, man. And also with the ripcord, I said this last year in my G.I. Joe versus Action Force video. These guys here, I said I couldn't wait till they came out because they look like the Night Force ripcord. And I was just talking about the 3 3/4 inch ripcord, not knowing. Look, you can see the color through there. Not knowing that they were gonna come out with a 6 inch. So now, ripcord will have some guys that tag along with them. And look, I fucks with Voliverse. I really do. I'm kind of getting narrowed down to the point with what I want to do with them, which is mostly army building troops. I got a kill switch video that's coming out because my girl's video had got messed up and it got deleted on accident. It just wasn't a good vibe with that video shoot, man. So I'm redoing it with just kill switch, which was one of my favorite ones out of the girls. I put her on the lower tier, but she actually ended up being the best one I like. And I basically but basically with Voliverse, they're plug and play for me now. They're soldiers. They're basically tag along guys, things of that nature. And I did pick up that bone collector though. I did get him. I've been wanting him. But he'll segue right into Dreadnoks. He's a Dreadnought. He won't be a leader of Dreadnoks. He'll be one of the guys, but you know, that's Zartan thing. But these guys are tag along for ripcord. You know, so the Steel Ops Night Brigade, and it fits in perfect, man. And at the end of the day, I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm just being truthful, man. G.I. Joe is the father of Action Force. And like a proud father watching his only son that made it, we salute you guys, man. Like, for real, for real. But we are the father. We are the father, man. Just simply going on with that Chuckles, this situation here. And at the end of the day, it's a celebration for everybody. Because Yo June, like Joe Fest, you can see Voliverse is going to be a big piece of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's all really one and the same. But you know, that to me, that is a true statement. You know what I'm saying? So it's all gravy, man. But I can't wait to get these guys on the box. I'm probably going to unbox them this month also. And that's what I'll basically be doing throughout June, man. Just really kind of getting through all the G.I. Joe that I haven't opened up so I can get to the rest of the palette. We still working on that. I still got to get the wrestling figures out of that nature. But what do you think about the Sky Striker? Do you think it was a good job? Do you think it was a hit and miss? What do you think about the offerings? What do you think about the next 2 offerings that they're going to have? I even said, I was like, cool to have Wild Bill. Cool to have like a helicopter crew. So this ripcord blindsided me. But who else could they do? Who else could they do? What do you guys think? I think it was awesome. I think it was a wonderful offering. And I just think they nailed it. Even the presentation of it, they nailed it. And Lenny sealed the deal, man. Especially at the end. Check out the end of the video. He sound almost just like a real G.I. Joe. And that's what I want to see, man. That's what I want to see. Just like I was talking about my Joes the other day. That they're actually built out now. They're strong and buff with Outback and Rock and Roll, and you got Gun Ho and Sarge. You got all these nice guys, and you just make you feel strong and confident and just ready to go. You know, go at it, man. So I just had to get this in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Soapbox. We're gonna have commentary all throughout the month, throughout the week. Anytime I just feel a sporadic moment and just want to do some G.I. Joe content, because hey, like I said, if you cultivate in your hobby, man. This is Joe June, man. This is a celebration, man. Like, I want to make it to Joe Fest this year, but I'm going to Myrtle Beach around that time. This may not be my year, but maybe next year. It's not even really like, I guess you can say a money thing. I guess it's a time thing and a priority thing. So, but yeah. This is a Savage Land, man. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, man. Like I said, I'm all for this Haslab. I'm willing to back it to the death. There's a few comments before I go that I went and clipped of, and somebody said this thing isn't gonna get funded, you know. So the negativity already started. I'm like, how can you even say that? If you funded the His Tank and don't, you know, you don't have to fund it, or just have the idea like, I'm not gonna fund that, then obviously you've been swayed it or something. But I just don't understand it, because it's a great offering, and it's a lot cheaper. And even somebody said they would like a working propeller, which that'd have been cool. But I don't care. I don't even care about the lights, man. All that stuff is cool, but it's also great though, because the screen on the inside lights up. So that's just extra features for photography for me, or just showcase, really, man. But like I said, I'll have some more commentary on this. But I thought it was a great offering. And that concludes our episode of Soapbox. There ain't no toy news or clearance. This is the toy news, G.I. Joe. And with that being said, Yo, Joe!